Alright, so here's another video on online storage unit profiling, the stuff that I like seeing. Again, there's going to be videos down below that are things that I do not like seeing, both for live and online. But for the purpose of this video, it's going to be online, things I love seeing, okay? Alright, so let's get into this here. Sometimes I wish I can teleport different places around the United States and buy storage units. This is actually a pretty decent one. Not too far away from me, probably about 4 hours from me. A couple things with this one. It's really intriguing, and we'll kind of go over each little thing here. Is you really need to pay attention when you buy online storage auctions, because I see this all the time. New buyers and even veteran buyers sometimes will bid really quickly down here, and they won't pay attention to what's in the unit. And I think if you spend a little extra time, that's the one advantage you have with online storage auctions, is the photos that are there, you can spend some time and really dig into these photos. So that's one thing that you got to understand. One tip is really spend some time looking at these photos. Don't just braze through and then bid. Really spend some time. So a couple things that I want to look at here that I love in this storage unit, and I'm trying to bring you different looks throughout this course so that you kind of get some ideas. We talked about wrapping furniture and mattresses constantly. But one thing is you'll notice down here, this is a Tempur-Pedic, okay? Those tend to go for good money, okay? You can still sell that even if it's pre-owned, previously used. And the fact that it's Tempur-Pedic and they wrapped it, okay? One great sign. Another thing that I like over here that this is an interesting unit, because I've never bought a unit like this that was personal. You see those plastic hard straps around these boxes? Normally that would indicate that it's a business to me, right? I've never seen a personal storage unit have those on there, so it's kind of conflicting even to me, as many as I bought. But the one thing I like about this is, notice there's a trend. Wrapped furniture, you go to this picture here and you see inside the box, they bubble wrapped their items that's inside, right? To me, those are probably brand new, whatever it is, and I honestly don't know, but it's wrapped, right? That's another indication that they took care of their items. For example, down here, they've got some sort of furniture items and they use blankets so it doesn't get scratched. The whole idea is, when you buy storage units online and live, is you need to get a gut feeling of what's in the unit. And for me, the first indication is I like to look at things that, kind of stand out to me. And, the first thing that does is what's in the unit, but also more importantly, how they treated their items. Another thing that I like is, you'll notice is this bed frame here is solid wood. It's not that fake particle board. I love selling furniture locally. I can sell furniture pretty quickly, and beds go pretty good, especially some of these solid wood pieces. Really depends on your area. I know some storage unit buyers can't get rid of them for their life, but here in Oregon, I can get rid of solid wood furniture pretty quickly. This is such a fantastic unit for me, since I'm an online seller. One thing you got to look at if you're an online seller is how big are the items, right? Because that's going to affect how you can get rid of them. If you're not really selling locally and you're not going to flea markets and you're just selling online, you got to really lean towards things that can fit in boxes, because anything bigger than that's going to be tough to pack, ship, and sell online. Here's another dresser. This actually is not solid wood, but it's in pretty decent shape. Some of those particle board IKEA stuff you can still sell locally pretty quickly. IKEA's got a great following, but nonetheless, this is actually a pretty good unit. Look at the price. Only $230. I'd probably spend $350 on this unit myself. It's very intriguing to me. I may even go up to $400 just to see what's in these boxes, okay? Remember, you've got to only spend the money that you have based on what you can see, not what you think is back there. So, yes, storage units is a bit of a gamble, right? Because honestly, even when you're live, you can't get a really good indication of what's in the unit when it comes to boxes and bags and things. But in this case, it's very intriguing to me. And we'll kind of go over social media too, because remember, I get paid from YouTube to do these videos as well. What does that do? It makes these units either free or pretty close to free because YouTube pays me. So I can take a little more risk. That's why when we go over the social media aspect of the course, you need to put these storage units on social media because it will help pay for the storage units. And what does that do for you? It allows you to take on a little more risk because you know you're going to get some of it back on YouTube revenue, right? So if I was not on social media and I spent, for example, $300 on this unit, I'm out $300. But if I was on social media and YouTube paid me $250 once I release this video, then that means I only really spent $50 on this unit. So it's very important to cut down cost wherever you can and also mitigate risk, and that's kind of what we're doing in the storage unit for this course, is kind of help you throughout the process of your storage unit buying, not only profiling, buying, and selling, but also everything that goes in between, like social media and everything that you can think of. We're going to have like 60 videos. So all right, so let's go ahead and this is a really good view too. I mean, just look at all those boxes. Now I've got me curious. I almost want to drive to Washington to buy this unit. All right, so let's go on to another one here, guys. I want to give you a different look. We've done enough storage treasures. This is Bid 13, okay? This is a site that is very unique, and actually some storage unit buyers are probably not wanting me to show you this site because a lot of people are unaware. Don't worry if you haven't already seen, there's a video for every single online site so you can understand all the top online sites to buy storage units. We're not going to go over Bid 13 as a company, just the storage unit and profiling itself. The reason I want to show you this unit is sheer volume. Okay, this is a technique, and we'll go over this in another video too, but I'll briefly go over it here. This is a technique that you can use when you buy storage units. It's sheer volume. It's a really decent unit, and I'm only technically probably going to spend $50. Yes, there's 8 days left, but ignore that. Let's just say it ended for $50 right now. This is a really good unit for 50 bucks, right? So let me show you this little video here. And the cool thing about Bid 13, guys, is they actually show you video of the storage unit, where most sites only show you pictures. Bid 13 will show you a video, and then they'll release on YouTube for advertising, which I think is very unique. But let's show you this. So they show you opening it. This guy probably works for this facility, and then they kind of camera around to show you what's in the unit. You can notice here that's a racket, probably. But see all these boxes? Yeah, there's probably some garbage in there. But for the price, you can see the dust. It's an outdoor unit. They probably haven't been in there in a while because the thing is plumb full. And there's probably a lot of trash in there, let's be honest. But the sheer volume of the unit for only $50, right? That's what you're looking at here. So that's why I wanted to kind of show this unit. You can kind of see, obviously they can't show you what's behind the unit because it's just too full. And that's one advantage you're going to have when you buy on online storage auctions, because a lot of people, just like yourself, they don't know what's behind the unit, so the price of the unit doesn't go for much because they can't see the valuables behind the initial front of the unit, right? This is kind of at the very top. You can kind of see they probably have like a lot of cheaper stuff in there, but remember, understand how much the units are going for, and also how big the unit is. There's a lot that goes into it. But for $50 for an online seller, you want to jump on something like this. You notice all the dust here on these are boxes here. This unit has been sitting in this outdoor facility for a very long time. And to me, this is a great opportunity to buy something like this. It's probably a household unit, meaning a lot of household type stuff. For example, they moved, they downsized. A lot of times you'll find people retire. They'll go into retirement communities and then they'll put their whole house in a storage unit and then eventually lose it, and somebody like me and you would buy it, right? So that kind of screams that here. Possibly you can see all these types of boxes that they have. One indication too when they use all these boxes is they were trying to budget probably and not have to buy boxes, so they found boxes around their community and used those to store their items. That's one thing to me that's not a bad thing. It just means that they probably are cautious about how much money they spent because they use just random boxes to put their stuff in. There's a lot of things that you'll learn over time. Really, it comes down to just buying a unit and buying another one, and then eventually you'll kind of understand how you yourself will profile units. You can watch a million of these videos, but at the end of the day, each unit's going to be different. But overall, I like this unit. It's a 10 by 10, so it's, average / a tad bit bigger for new people. It's only going for $50. The reason I find that a lot of the storage units from Bid 13 go for cheaper amounts than like Storage Treasures and some of the others, because a lot of people don't know about bid13.com. But it's such a great site, guys. Anyways, this is a storage unit profile that I kind of wanted to show you. Just remember, sometimes it's okay to take a little risk, especially if it's such a cheap unit. For $50, let's say it ends at $100 even, or even $150 I would spend for this unit. Then you've got $150 or $100, $150 in dump fees, and maybe not even that. You're in the unit for $250 all in. I mean, that sheer volume of items that you're going to have, you're going to find it's almost impossible to lose on something like this, especially the fact that you're just getting that much stuff. And at 10 by 10, this is going to be a couple truckloads. I mean, this is a pretty big unit with a lot of stuff. So, all right, hopefully that helps, guys. Understand, sometimes if a unit looks, it's okay. Well, if it's going for $300, then you probably want to stay away. But if you're like, I'm on the fence, and it's going for $50 or $100, then it's almost impossible to lose. It's just, at that point, time that you're putting in, sorting and going through it is going to be a big factor. So, and as for profiling units, understand too, guys, that the one thing that I see, one of the most rookie mistakes I see people make is they have to buy a unit. You guys, once you buy a few, you get kind of addicted. You have to buy a unit. And what happens when you have that mindset is sometimes you lean towards a storage unit. You either spend too much money or you waste too much time just because you want a unit now. One biggest tip I can give you is from here to the next 50 years, storage units are going to be going up for auction constantly. So it's okay to pass on storage units if it doesn't meet your profiling criteria, because there will always be another one that pops up eventually. So pass unless you find the perfect storage unit, because there will always be another one. And especially if you settle and you buy a bunch of units just to buy storage units, you run out of room quickly. So that way when a great unit comes up, you may not have the room for it or the budget for it. So sometimes the best storage unit you can buy is the storage unit you do not buy, and you pass and wait for the perfect one to come along. But sometimes, you find units like this that just go for a decent amount. And as we were talking here, it went from $50 to $61. So somebody bid $61. All right, hopefully that helps. I'll see you on the next video.